Welcome to Allen Road for the local derby match between Leeds United and Barnsley. This is the first of 3 successive home matches here at Allen Road, including the FA Cup 5th round tie next week against First Division Queen's Park Rangers. So Leeds United, if they're going to make any serious impact at the top of the 2nd Division and push for a promotion place, really have got to make the best of the next month to get up there amongst the top 3 or 4. They really are expected to win this afternoon against Barnsley, who are lying 21st in the league on 26 points, and Leeds are lying 7th on 37 points. But, of course, that's all on paper. Barnsley have had a good run of late, so they will be out to get whatever's going this afternoon. So the Leeds United side shows no change. It's still the same side that played last week at Bramall Lane against Sheffield United, and that includes the 2 new signings. Number 3 is Bobby McDonald, on loan from Oxford United for a month, and if Billy Bremner likes what he sees, he could well become a permanent fixture. A lot of experience with Oxford and, of course, Manchester City, Bobby McDonald. And the £200,000 signing, Mike Hazelwood from Charlton Athletic. He lines up in midfield with Ian Snowden now departed to Everton. So the big ex-Charlton Athletic skipper in midfield. And the substitute for today is Keith Edwards. Barnsley, of course, have lost the services of Larry May. He's just been signed yesterday, and he's joined Sheffield Wednesday for £200,000. So it's Ogley who comes in at number 5. So Barnsley then to defend the goal to our right in the all-red strip. The goal to our right is the Allen Road goal. And the referee, Mr. Tilsley, and his 2 linesmen, Mr. Ellis with the red trim and Mr. Ross with the yellow trim. And away we go. Ormsby. Ashurst. That's McDonald. There are 2 McDonalds on the field today. A McDonald for Barnsley. Number 10, John McDonald. That's Bobby McDonald onto the head of Ritchie. Pearson. Stars lost out. Ormsby from Ashurst to McDonald again. Hazelwood, a good touch. Trying a 1-2 with Baird, but really a little bit too much pace on it. The 6-footer Hazelwood, spelled A-I-Z, of course. Ashurst. Adams. Another recent signing by Billy Bremner from Coventry. So he's a left-sided player, and McDonald, of course. So Billy Bremner getting the blend, something like. Great competitor, Hazelwood and McDonald. Hazelwood, of course, a different player to the type that Snowden was, or is. And he Quoted as saying he hasn't come to replace Ian Snowden. He's a completely different player. Well, I go along with that. Aspen. Turn in by the fullback. Styles. Good move. And Clive Baker, the Barnsley goalkeeper, timing his jump beautifully. But Baird was there, lurking. But that was a good move. Pearson. Aspen, an early ball for Baird. Agnew. That'll be Joyce's ball. Back to his goalkeeper. Asping doing quite the correct thing. He was under pressure there. There was no reason for a silly ball. Cross. I'm trying to gain 2 or 3 yards. Mr. Tilsley correcting him. That's the other McDonald. Again, Cross with the throw. McDonald. Aspin somehow scrambles it half away. Good work by Agnew. He's doing well. He's hit the bar, and Mervyn Day knew little about it. The fullback, Joyce, and Leeds were lucky to get away with that one. But Agnew was the instigator. He went, he was allowed to go. The cross came in fact the lob came in, hit the crossbar. And fortunately for Leeds, Joyce, the Barnsley captain, had to stoop to try and get his header. There was no power behind it. So the first chance coming to Barnsley and not being taken. Pearson, Sheridan. Oh, and Sheridan looking a little bit leaden-footed there. Helped out by Styles. Baird with Futcher. Styles. Sheridan. And good link up between the two Leeds midfielders. But getting themselves into a hole in the end. Now Hazelwood try his hand with the throw. Pearson missed that one. Futcher concedes the corner. So the first corner after 6 minutes to Leeds United. And it's Mickey Adams with the corner. It's away by Ogley. Sheridan, back to Adams. Have another go. There's Ormsby. Always there or thereabouts, Brendan Ormsby, when these corners come in, or the crosses, and he was up for the original corner, decided to stay up, and again he crept around on the blind side. Becoming quite a familiar sight now is Brendan Ormsby, the Leeds United captain. Those set pieces, and can be very, very useful indeed. McDonald. Joyce will not get there. Cross rather. Hazelwood. Pearson. Styles. MacDonald. That's an easy one for Hedworth. And to Agnew. And the fullback caught by Adams there. Well, it's a pretty cold afternoon here at Elland Road. It was a lovely morning. It's been a fair week in and around Leeds, but would you believe around about noon today we had a short snowstorm, and just indeed before the kick-off. But it's all subsided now, so winter's just reminding us that it's still around. Cross with the throw for Barnsley. Ogley. Agnew. Trying to find Cross. Could come up on the overlap. Oh, a bad one from Sheridan. Agnew again. Not an equally bad effort from him. So the mistake by Sheridan has been cancelled out. Of course, Barnsley managed by Alan Clark, the ex-Leeds United striker, and of course ex-Leeds United manager. So I've no doubt the two managers will have had a good old chinwag and a reminisce before the match started, and will no doubt have a glass of orange juice each after the match. Clark, who I don't think is any relation to the manager, Alan. It's Cross, Agnew, and Prey a little bit scrappy at the moment. Both sides presenting each other with it, but Agnew has to be fouled by Styles. Well, the Leeds supporters to our left didn't quite agree with that, but in the end the referee was right there. He was certainly through. So, of course, another old Leeds United boy, Gwyn Thomas, number 4, played here at Elland Road for quite a number of seasons. Ooh, and Dobbin lining one up. It's taken a deflection, but Mervyn Day's allowed to slip into reverse and then turn left and pick the ball up. The slack one there from Ormsby. It was out of play. Ashurst. That's quite a useful one. Baird is there. Clark to Thomas. To MacDonald. That's neat stuff by Barnsley to Dobbin. Dobbin just holding, waiting for support. Gets it on the right. With Joyce, the captain. Back to Dobbin. Chip inside, looking for Clark. Pearson. MacDonald. Hazelwood. Ashurst. Hazelwood. Pearson rather. Good header by the number 9. And Clive Baker doing his job well. Clark to Cross. Thomas. Gwyn Thomas. Clark. Back to Cross. Dangerous one, but McDonald's there with just a half clearance. It's McDonald to Cross. Thomas. Cross again. When Thomas being pushed back. Agnew. And Hazelwood went crashing into him, and it could well be a booking for the number 4. Indeed it is. So Dobbin with the free kick. Futcher it was who got the header. Adams. Leaving it for McDonald. That's Bobby McDonald. Baird. Hazelwood. Ashurst. Aspin. Ashurst. This is a slow build-up from Leeds. Hazelwood. And nobody really wants to go forward with this ball. McDonald. Pearson. Baird. Yes! So Baird puts Leeds United in the lead in the 25th minute from a nod on by Pearson. Hazelwood. And nobody really wants to go forward with this ball. McDonald. Pearson. Baird. Yes! So Baird puts Leeds United in the lead in the 25th minute from a nod on by Pearson. Leeds United 1, Barnsley 0. The lovely floated ball from Bobby McDonald. Pearson got a looping header in, and Baird did enough to put it wide of Baker to make it 1-0 to Leeds. So that makes in Baird's tally 12 goals this season, the leading goal scorer for Leeds United. Wasn't the most clinical of finishers, but if it finishes in the net, it doesn't matter. But the build-up made up for that. But Baird was right on the spot when it mattered. So Leeds now with the pressure off them a little. Can probably be a little bit more adventuresome, but they've been patient. At times they've had the crowd just on their backs a little, but Leeds have played it patient. They've waited, and they've got the goal. But Barnsley will be keen to get back in quickly. Certainly I've seen Leeds work a lot harder in the first 25 minutes and get nothing. But they've seemed to extend themselves just when it mattered. And they've done the business so far. 1-0, Leeds are leading. But a long way to go yet. As Ashurst finds Styles. This is when the concentration is needed. I think the goal a little bit of a surprise to one or two people. It came quickly and clinically. The build-up looked average, but then it got better as it went on. McDonald. It's a throw to Leeds. Back again. And that will be a goal kick. Mervyn Day with a good goal kick. Baird leaps high. Styles. Pearson. It was his header down that found the opening for Baird. Ashurst, Pearson. Another ball, he finds Baird. But Baird judged to have just nudged him, but that was a good header from the tall 6'2" centre forward. Big, long, lanky lad, but causes problems in the air. And there's Baird, of course, up in the attack. So the Barnsley defenders are always going to be troubled because he's an excellent challenger for the ball, both in the air and on the ground. It's MacDonald. That's Colin MacDonald. Baird, Ormsby, Styles, nearly brought down. Pearson is then, and collided with Cross. Joyce finds Dobbin, back to him. MacDonald. Aspin has to help Ashurst out there. Futcher. And Joyce is brought down by Ormsby. Lost his boot. Agnew with the free kick. Paul Futcher in there. Just too far for the outstretched foot of MacDonald. Which in fact is John MacDonald. I think I'm calling him Colin MacDonald. It's John MacDonald. Styles, Hazelwood unmarked. MacDonald, Hazelwood. Clark with an overhead one. It drops down. Another handball there by Cross. MacDonald. Again. Baird losing out. Hedworth. Dobbin gains a few yards for Barnsley. And another couple. So Barnsley now on 6-7 yards from the Leeds goal. Goal line. Agnew. Good chip inside there. That one hit the legs of Mervyn Day. And the Leeds defenders were ball watching then. And again, they were lucky to get away with that one. I think Mervyn Day thought the ball was going out as the Barnsley forward pulled it back. It hit his shins. The cross came in. There was no red shirt available. Thomas. Sheridan. Finds fullback Neil Aspin. Baird. So a minute on the watch remaining in this first half. As Clive Baker half volleys up to try and find Gwyn Thomas from that header from MacDonald. It's still pretty cold here. Baird has to put it back to MacDonald. Tries an early one to Futcher. Sheridan. Adams. Good turn by the number 11. Has a shot. Good work by the ex-Coventry man. And the referee, Mr. Tilsley, brings the first half to a close. A half in which Barnsley have had a couple of chances. They've hit the bar. Leeds have had one real chance, which was tucked away by Ian Baird from a lovely build-up. Crossed by MacDonald. Pearson header on. And Baird was no more than 5 yards out to slip it past Clive Baker in the Barnsley goal. So the half-time score here at Elland Road. Leeds United 1, Barnsley 0. Leeds United lead at half-time. And it's MacDonald for Barnsley. Coming out to Joyce. To Dobbin. Ormsby. Again Dobbin. Agnew. To Cross. Hazelwood. Thomas finds Cross again. Aspin can only find John MacDonald. Agnew and Barnsley coming straight away at Leeds. MacDonald to Pearson. Paul Futcher. First touch in the second half for Clive Baker, the Barnsley goalkeeper. Ormsby. Baird. Trying to pick out Sheridan. And it's nice to see two Leeds midfield men in the opposition penalty area or thereabouts when the ball is down. Now, there's a spot of bother between Gwyn Thomas, who's been booked, and the referee signalling then he was stamping on the foot of Jackie Ashurst. So he joins the book along with Hazelwood, so the two number 4s in the referee's notebook. Moving day, but Paul Futcher getting there first. Again MacDonald with an early ball. Adams. Ormsby. Sheridan. Quickly closed down, but helped out by the strong man Hazelwood. And the crowd are liking what they're seeing from MacDonald and Hazelwood. The two new signings on their home debuts. That one just going in front of Aspin, but Bobby MacDonald for once caught in possession, holding his namesake John MacDonald. So Barnsley get the free kick. It wasn't a good one from Futcher. Sheridan. And Styles may lose the challenge, he hasn't. Good ball inside to Aspin. Baird misses it, hits his back. Oh, Barnes in a bit of trouble there. Baird couldn't turn quickly enough, but he did enough to win the throw. Hazelwood with the throw, Pearson with the back header, and Baird over the top. I would think that John Pearson, the number 9 for Leeds, would be getting a little bit anxious now, would like to get on the score sheet. He's had some 3-4 matches with Leeds now. The goal kick wasn't too clever, but Futcher retrieving the situation. Aspin. Styles been fouled by Cross. Ten minutes gone in the second half. Leeds United 1, Barnsley 0. Sheridan. Oh, what a goal! What a beauty! 2-0, 25 yards, and that was a cracker. Sheridan. Oh, what a goal! What a beauty! 2-0, 25 yards, and that was a cracker. Oh, John Sheridan couldn't believe it himself. He took a dip from fully 25 yards, and Clive Baker never saw it, and even John Sheridan was amazed. 2-0. Leeds lead then. Barnsley in the form of Futcher. Trying a 25-yarder himself, but not coming off. MacDonald and Dobbin in a clash, and the referee awarding Barnsley a free kick. Well, that goal will certainly want to be viewed more than once from John Sheridan, I've no doubt. Agnew, Styles rather. Agnew again. Ashurst. Aspen. Styles. McDonald. Styles again. McDonald, an early ball. Lovely left-footed volley. Styles. Well, that goal of John Sheridan's has certainly got the crowd buzzing. The Barnsley defenders to just cover. Both Pearson and Futcher making a mess of that. Now they're getting to it. Dobbin, seen Gwyn Thomas just trying to sneak through. But Aislerwood winning a nice warm round of applause for his anticipation. Futcher trying to bulldoze his way through, eventually stopped by John Styles. Ogley to Cross, to Agnew, Futcher, Dobbin. There's no way out for him there, has to come wide. Edworth, Futcher, Thomas. Futcher, good turn. Ormsby reading that. Aislerwood, his path to Mervyn Day was cut off, but again showing his class. Well, that one was close. Baird was no more than a yard inside the Barnsley half. Well, that's what the crowd think of that decision. Joyce finds McDonald. Robbed by Bobby McDonald is John McDonald. And Leeds knocking it about confidently now. Pearson trying to find Baird. Ashurst. McDonald. Again the first early touch. Aislerwood. Ashurst. Aspen. Ashurst. Pearson, a nice chest down for Baird. Good save by Baker. Well, John Pearson might not appear to be doing a lot, but he's knocking nice balls down and flicking headers on for his striking partner Baird, and he'll be appreciating that. He's got one goal from a knockdown from John Pearson. So it's sometimes a crowd are looking to the centre forward to be knocking goals in every 5 minutes, but He's doing his job well, John Pearson. Baird to Pearson. Again, an early ball to Adams. Pearson again. Well, every ball in the air Pearson is challenging for and is thereabouts. He ran 25 yards to get underneath that cross. He initially passed the ball to Adams. That was a clumsy one from the full-back cross there on John Sheridan. And the referee just telling him to cool it a little bit. Ashurst. Again, Pearson with the knock on for Baird. And Hedworth has to put it back to his keeper. Aspin finds Sheridan. Styles. Again Aspin. The full-back getting his legs tied up a little bit there. Thomas. He rounds Jackie Ashurst as though he wasn't there. Ashurst coming back for another nibble. Referee waving play on. Agnew was tripped, I thought, there. But the referee saw Barnsley had possession. And eventually John Sheridan says, let's have it tidied up. Well, this performance so far this afternoon is greatly improved performance from the last home match against Blackburn. Leeds looking a lot tighter, a lot more confident, a lot more assured. And at times the crowd have been on their backs a little. They're wanting a little bit more urgency, but Leeds have been doing their job professionally. They've not been harassed. They've done just what they've had to do. They've kept the concentration. They've had a couple of lapses. But apart from that, it's been a clinical performance so far. 2-0 their lead. Baird and Sheridan the scorers. One in either half. Hedworth. McDonald. Finds Clark. And Aspin getting himself in a real old tangle there. Gives away the corner. So Barnsley with the corner. It's a bad one, but Leeds didn't do their job there. They didn't clear it. That's an own goal from John Sheridan. Well, John Sheridan puts in his own net. So Barnsley with the corner. It's a bad one, but Leeds didn't do their job there. They didn't clear it. That's an own goal from John Sheridan. Well, John Sheridan puts in his own net. An attempted clearance. 2-1. Well, after being so tidy and compact, I was just saying how clinical Leeds had been, and then John Sheridan suddenly tried a clearance of some magnitude, really. It was a hard back pass. It turned out to be too hard in the event. But just what he was thinking of doing, he had time to turn, he had time to do anything. The attendance 14,200 this afternoon. Quickly taken free kick to Gwyn Thomas. Agnew, Hazelwood, Dobbin, Agnew, and the Barnsley supporters on the far side have suddenly got something to cheer about all at once. McDonald, Bobby McDonald for Leeds, Hazelwood brought down. And John Stiles coming off, and Keith Edwards coming on for Leeds United. Well, Keith Edwards is certainly not taking up an attacking position. As John Stiles been troubled by that groin strain he's had a couple of times this season. It may well be. Hasn't looked quite as sharp in this second half. So the front line is not being changed as far as we can see, because Keith Edwards has now moved forward. Futcher. Edwards only went to the middle of the park to give out some instructions, I've no doubt. But he's up front. So we've got 8 minutes left on the watch. Leeds United leading by 2-1. And John Sheridan will have good reason to remember this match for the brilliant goal he scored for his side and the one that he scored for Barnsley. But that not put the 22-year-old off. Had a good game in midfield. But Barnsley seemingly getting a second wind. McDonald now with Agnew from the other full-back cross. Joyce is short blocked and they get the throw. Well, Leeds from being completely in command and 2-0 up and looking virtually impregnable, they're now looking slightly vulnerable. Futcher. There's no one picking up that Barnsley player, that's the full-back. Cross. And the shot wasn't too far over. Well, the problems are really self-inflicted from Leeds. They're allowing the Barnsley midfield to dominate. And the fullback came in there and wasn't too far away. Pearson. Futcher. That was a nasty one behind from Adams and Dobbin. Thought twice about that one. But it all ends happily with a shake of hands. Cross. Agnew back to Ogley. Ashurst. Thomas. Baird getting himself into trouble, but eventually gets it away. Adams can't find his keeper, and suddenly Leeds have lost their initiative, and Barnsley have equalised. Well, Leeds United have only themselves to blame. Baird getting himself into trouble, but eventually gets it away. Adams can't find his keeper, and suddenly Leeds have lost their initiative, and Barnsley have equalised. Well, Leeds United have only themselves to blame. They messed and fiddled about, and Dobbin eventually equalises. Well, Leeds United. There were three players there who could have cleared the ball. And eventually they paid the penalty. And it's getting a little bit tough out there. And the referee having a word with Sheridan. Well, we were 76 minutes into this match. Leeds were seemingly cruising to a 2-0 victory. They were cool, they were composed. And then an own goal suddenly changed all that. And now Barnsley have equalised 5 minutes from time. Two. And this local derby, which was looking an average sort of match, has suddenly reverted to that local derby tag. Now Aspin, but Barnsley have found that extra yard. Pearson, it's a corner. No, it isn't. It's cleared by the fullback. McDonald. Baird. Adams. Sheridan. That's the goal kick. I think I may have actually told you the wrong goal scorer. I think it was McDonald who got the goal for Barnsley. Although it was Dobbin who was getting all the congratulations. Edwards. Baird. It's the corner ball. Headed out, back again by Ormsby. Hazelwood cut out by Thomas. McDonald beaten there by Clark, and suddenly the Barnsley team can see they're in with a chance, but Mervyn Day cutting it out on the 6-yard line. That's a bad clearance by him, but it somehow finds the Barnsley half. Pearson. 90 minutes on the watch. Just the little bit of injury time not too much. So it's looking very much as though the Leeds United's promotion hopes are going to take another dent. Barnsley just keeping possession. Edworth. And the referee brings the game to an end. A game in which for 3/4 of the match Leeds were completely in command. They looked good. They were composed. They seemed to have the game all wrapped up. And then an own goal from John Sheridan. Inexplicably, we don't know what he was thinking of. And from that moment on, Leeds suddenly lost their way. And then in the last 5 minutes, they messed and fizzled about in their own penalty area. 2 or 3 players were guilty. And eventually McDonald came and put in the equaliser to severely knock the hopes of Leeds United's promotion run. Well, good home debuts for McDonald, Bobby McDonald and Mike Hazelwood, but the Leeds United supporters will be disappointed that Leeds lost what seemed a seemingly comfortable 2-goal lead. So the final score here at Elland Road, Leeds United 2, Barnsley 2. And it's goodbye from Elland Road.